Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you. And it's for Tuesday, the 10th day of June. Here we go. Today we're just going to talk about taking medicine on Shabbos. Long, long ago, the rabbis prohibited taking medicine on Shabbos, and their main reason was because people used to always grind their medicines, taking herbs and grinding them up into powders or whatevers, and that's how they would take medicines, make medicines, and they felt that if they were allowed to allow people to take medicines on Shabbos, then they would inadvertently sometimes be grinding their medicines, which is one of the 39 malachas that you're not allowed to do. That's grinding things. So they prohibited taking medicines. Now, the big burning question for all of us today is that most of you listening don't grind your medicines anymore. When you want an aspirin, you open up a jar, you pop the pill in your mouth, and you swallow it. So because there is no chashash, no fear at all that you're going to grind up the medicine, people kind of wonder, can't I just pop an aspirin? Because I promise I won't grind my medicines, and it's not going to happen. You don't even have to worry about it happening to me. Nevertheless, most rabbis still are prohibiting taking medicines today, and the burning question is why. So, first of all, there are a couple of reasons. First of all, one reason is that we are very reticent, I think that's the way to use that word, we're not anxious ever to nullify a great decree made by rabbis much greater than us in earlier generations. So for any rabbi to stand up here today and say, forget about that whole spiel about grinding medicines, take any medicine you want, no rabbi is great enough today to just nullify a large decree from the rabbis before us, and therefore we want to keep that decree intact wherever possible. That's one reason why people are not allowing medicines to be taken on Shabbos. Also, another reason commonly given is because, believe it or not, today there are people, there's a resurgence of popularity in homeopathic type of medicines, and people could be grinding those kinds of things and making certain kinds of powders homeopathically that they would want to take on Shabbos. So that would be another reason why the decree should still be in effect even today. Also, in third world countries, the idea of popping an aspirin right out of a bottle is not prevalent in the undeveloped countries of the world. There, people might still be taking roots and grinding them, and I know you don't live in one of those countries, especially if you're watching this Daily Dvar, but that means that the old fear of the old decree didn't go away because it still exists in our population on planet Earth. And also, even to people who think that you only pop medicines, you could inadvertently, if we were to allow you to just take medicines whenever you want, you could inadvertently be guilty of the two other malachas, and that's smoothing. You could be putting a cream and smoothing it onto your skin, which could happen even with the modern medicines of today. You could also be guilty of kneading if you're ever mixing up a kind of medicine that needed to be just water added and spooned and whatever, and kind of munched together with a spoon. That could lead you to knead, K-N-E-A-D, which we're not allowed to do on Shabbos either. That's why the decree is still in effect today for all those reasons just listed. However, what some poskim are doing today is saying, although we don't want to nullify the decree, maybe we can interpret it in a more lenient way for certain circumstances. And therefore you will feel a little bit of leniency on this topic. For example, the Tzitz Eliezer says that if a person had a very bad headache on Shabbos, he would allow him to take an aspirin. So there you're seeing the decree is still in effect, but a more lenient interpretation of when we can say, in your situation, it's permissible because of the very bad headache. Other examples of where some rabbis are lenient is they say, what if you've got an ongoing condition? A great example of this would be that your doctor told you on Tuesday to take antibiotics 3 times a day for 10 days. And if you were to stop the antibiotics on Shabbos, it would literally mess up the whole 10-day treatment. So in situations like that, where there's an ongoing medicine that the person is taking long before Shabbos, and Shabbos is a continuation of a treatment that began in the middle of the week, there, rabbis, some poskim are showing leniency there too, like Rav Shlomo Kluger and Chazon Ish and Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and and Rav Elyashiv have shown leniencies in situations like that. Now, I'm not telling you, oh, fine, so just take any ongoing medicine and you're good. I'm just telling you that there are great rabbis who have allowed some situations like that, and therefore you could speak to your posek about it, and there may be leniency for you to take an ongoing medicine on Shabbos, but please speak to your rabbi, and don't just rely on this and say, yay, I heard you can take medicines on Shabbos. It's not quite that simple. Speak to your rabbi. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.